speaking of gene pool, do you feel any pressure to sort of have a family?
No, just because there is some money to be had. No, not at all. I mean, one has to think very carefully what you can give your child.
Okay.
You know, and right now, I can't give my child, if I have a child, anything. You know, so I think parents have to be very careful when, or wanna-be parents will have to be very careful when they think about this. You know, every small little action will have consequences on, you know, your child will feel it for years to come, even though you don't know it. Yeah, so a lot of parents don't think of that. They just say, oh, let's just have children first, then we think about it. But you have to be very careful. Children are very, very precious, and they absorb like a sponge, you know, and it will resonate. So just...
Okay. How about you? I mean, it's the message, so to speak, because like the total like fertility rate is 1.26. To replace the population, we need a fertility rate of 2.1. So, do you think that as a Singaporean, is it a must for us to procreate?
Well,
how much are we indebted to society?
I'll just say yes. All right. Going back to the point you made, I have to agree with you. Definitely, if you are not meant to be with each other and you do not want to start a family, then don't start and maybe don't get married yet. You know, don't think about it. But if you guys are serious about getting married, and I think it's only natural to have kids, and I have to disagree though that in Singapore, I did mention earlier on, there's everything set up for a kid, for a baby. They've got your play schools, you've got your nurturing study schools, you've got everything ready and ready to rock and roll for a kid to just launch himself. In fact, I'll be sending my kid in about a couple of months to her first play school to join in the fun because she loves playing, so that's great. And with cable, there's baby TV, there's gym jam, there's everything all around.
Babysitting. Yeah, no, I don't disagree, you know, that everything is set up. But I mean, it's the parent who should learn proper parenting skills.
Well, here comes the responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you're going to be out there, if you're going to be working 24/7, and if maybe the other half of the parent is also working 24/7, who are you going to leave the kids with? You know, you're not going to be bonding with your child eventually, so...
Exactly, but not all the parents, all of them can afford to not go out and work.
So going back to it, it's got to be, it is a responsibility eventually. Yeah. So yeah, if it's a responsibility, and then it falls back on society, yeah. If you're responsible and you see, you know, as your own homeland, why not, you know? Just multiply. Go forth.
Okay, but let's say if you had a choice, would you bring up your kids in Singapore or somewhere else? Is the environment important where you bring up your kids?
Well, there's so much policing, it might be a bit, you know, I will have to reconsider. But mostly it's the landscape. I would like to have a garden for my child or children. And to be able to drive out to a mountain, right, or a lake, you know, and have picnics. That's what is more important to me.
There's a Bukit Timah Nature Reserve. And then
it's the
Mandai Lake and all that, maybe.
Mountains and not hills. I mean, if Singapore had the 4 seasons, wow, that's perfect, you know. But it's like so hot here. But I think if Singapore was an amalgamation of several things, of several countries, it would be great. I mean, of course, it is not perfect, but for me, first and foremost, I think it's the landscape.
The landscape is one of the big factors.
Yeah, big factors for me.
Okay.